Hi, I'm Phil Brock. This is Brock and Your Block, and today I'm staying on a side street down by Sea Colony in Ocean Park. I'm with Michael Levine, who is one of the top PR people in the United States. He's also a resident of Santa Monica, has a business in Santa Monica, and he called me because he wants to talk to me about the city, yes, his feelings about living in Santa Monica. And today, of course, now this Carlos Street is a wonderful street in Santa Monica. This is idyllic.
It is.
Michael Levine is a noted lecturer, a noted author. You see him on television and radio throughout the nation. Now, he has a very definitive point of view in the city, one that's not necessarily shared by everyone else in the city. He asked me for the interview. I think he has a point of view that should be respected. I can disagree with some aspects of what he said, but the fact that any resident of our city is worried about crime, is worried about homelessness, and doesn't feel they're getting the answers they need from people in control in the city, well, that's a problem.
And you have, and from my perspective, as a homeowner for the last 11 years in Santa Monica, as a business owner, I think that many of the things that you've talked to me about the city, you are a valued resource. I know that you, for some, are like a pebble in a shoe, that you bring forth a lot of inconvenient truths to people, but I think that the city owes you a great debt. I don't always agree with you on everything, but I admire your vast knowledge about the city, and your passion around your love and devotion to the city is just unquestionable. And so, as a homeowner, I'm very grateful for all that you've done for this city.
Well, I thank you for that, but you just embarrassed me because I wasn't expecting any of that. But thank you. Hopefully, I'm not only just a pebble. Sometimes I'm a stone in that shoe. Levine Communications was a powerful tool in the United States. So you represent Michael Jackson, actor after actor throughout the nation.
I've represented a lot of very, very well-known and famous celebrities, but also given advice to 3 U.S. presidents of both political parties.
I understand during your time in New York, you wrote a book as well about crime and keeping streets safe. And in addition to that, you were someone who came yourself from a hardscrabble background to become a leader in your business.
Well, I was born in New York City. I was born about 2.5 miles north of Ground Zero. So I have seen the World Trade Center be built twice. I moved out here in 1977, and I moved to Santa Monica 11 years ago. And I wrote a book around the time I moved here called Broken Windows, Broken Business. And there you go.
This is yours.
You just happen to have a copy.
Broken Windows, Broken Business, and it says how the smallest remedies reap the biggest rewards. Tell me about that.
Well, broken windows theory is a theory of criminology that says that if you go into a neighborhood and you see a broken window or graffiti, and the authorities do not repair it quickly within 72 hours, it sends a psychic signal to the residents, to the homeowners, to the tourists, and to the criminals that the bad guys are in charge. And you can predict absolutely without hesitation that there will be greater crime. Now, this theory, broken windows theory, was used in New York City to clean it up. Rudy Giuliani and then Police Commissioner William Bratton used the broken windows theory. I have been in Santa Monica for 11 years, ecstatic for 10 years. But about a year ago, I saw something. A radical increase in the homeless problem. 10, 20 times greater. You would walk on Main Street, Santa Monica, California. Walk over or around 5, 6, 7 homeless people. So it was troubling. I reached out to city officials. I called the city manager. I called the police chief. I called the president of the Santa Monica Chamber of Commerce. I called OPA, which is the Ocean Park Association. I called the Main Street Business Association. and didn't get much reaction. Basically told, oh, Michael, this isn't as big a problem as you're an extremist. Everything's fine. What happened a year ago, approximately, that may have made this problem explode? I was told by some Santa Monica police officers, what happened a year ago? You know, the metro train that everybody was celebrating? So we called the crime train. The train arrived. A lot of bad actors said, why not come live at the beach? And the police and the city did nothing.
In terms of homeless population, the homeless population has gone up over 30% in Santa Monica, but it is correlated to an increase of about 30% all throughout Los Angeles County. You can look at other reasons for increases in crime and homelessness too. Our weather. There's been early release from jail. Everyone who gets released gets a subway or bus token to wherever they want to go. If I was homeless, I'd come here.
This city seems to be very hospitable to the homeless folks. When I go down to Manhattan Beach, you know how many homeless people I see on the street? That number's 0.
They don't have that river, the freeway running right to it, and they don't have all the routes, including now the light rail running to it. But yes, you go down to other cities in the South Bay and in Central California, you don't see the same problem.
When I'm in Manhattan Beach by the Kettle, here's what another thing I see at night. Police officers and brighter light. On Main Street, we've got dimly lit streets. When you walk Main Street at night, and it feels like Skid Row. No police, ever. In the soulful words of Marvin Gaye, what's going on?
One of the issues has been that our police department, great police personnel, but they are running from call to call right now. And I do agree with you. I want to see Bill Bratton-style policing where people are on the streets, walking the beat, talking to people, and that they're in their quadrants. So we're not seeing police be able to stay in patrol districts because they're having to rush, which means that if there's an issue on Main Street or Pico or Ocean Park or Montana, police have to come from downtown Santa Monica to try and get to a problem. Lit streets are important. A longtime restaurant owner on Main Street that you know as well as I do told me a year and a half ago that it was the first time in her 25 years on Main Street that when she walked to her car, she felt worried.
And I'm writing an article for the LA Times. I did a little survey. 10 Santa Monica police officers, 8 of them were men and 2 of them were women. Now,
we have a great police department, but they are stretched.
Are we winning or losing homeless war currently in Santa Monica? 10 out of 10 losing. How serious is the homeless problem currently in Santa Monica? 0 to 10, 10 being the worst. Average answer, 9. Did the homeless problem explode with the arrival of the metro train? 10 out of 10 police officers, yes. Do Santa Monica police officers privately refer to the metro train as the crime train? 10 out of 10, yes. What grade would you give the city in combating the homeless crisis? Average grade, D-. Is the explosion of the homeless problem in the last year a crime problem to the city? 10 out of 10, yes. Is the city far too permissive in dealing with the homeless problem? 10 police officers, 10 out of 10, yes. 20 business owners on Main Street. Are we winning or losing the homeless war currently in Santa Monica? 20 out of 20 losing. How serious is the homeless problem currently in Santa Monica? Average 8.5. Did the homeless problem explode with the arrival of the metro train? 20 out of 20, yes. What grade would you give the police for responding to the homeless problem? Average grade, D. What grade would you give the Chamber of Commerce for dealing with the homeless problem? Only 2 were members, so I only could ask 2. Right. Average grade, F. Is the explosion of the homeless problem posing a crime problem to the city? 20 out of 20, yes. Business owners, would you feel comfortable allowing a single woman alone to walk on Main Street at 9 p.m. at night? 14, no. 3, maybe. 3, yes. Do the homeless lying in the street make your customers feel uncomfortable and unsafe? 20 out of 20. 2020, yes. I want action. This is troubling to the business community.
On behalf of my city, I have to respond to a few things.
Please.
The train has caused issues in the city, but 20 years from now, 30 years from now, everyone will thank everyone who got the train here, because the train is going to, over time, change the way our people travel and will unite all of LA. Now, look, is it causing short-term problems for Santa Monica? Absolutely. However, it has also exceeded ridership already for 2020.
I'm not opposed to the train, but we cannot allow the city, the safety and security of the city, which is preeminent. Okay?
The police department has always wanted to do more.
Yes.
The city attorney says that the Southern District Court won't permit anymore. Now, we have a new city attorney. Our city council right now is very business oriented.
Oh, great.
So they're actually aligned with the chamber for development.
Great.
However, the homeless problem has been here so long. Former Mayor Bobby Shriver spent a lot of time trying to get the VA to open up those buildings and house many of the homeless, because about 50% of our homeless population each night are veterans. That's the shame. The shame is we have veterans on the streets in Santa Monica and throughout LA who aren't getting the help they need after serving our country. The train has caused more people, more bodies. Our police department is doing the best they can. You also have to work on reassigning districts. You have to make sure the proper policing is done. So absolutely, there should be a squad on Main Street, walking Main Street, or bicycling. You have to give the police the tools to help the homeless. We have OPCC. We have so many different groups trying to help. We actually made improvements, and then this last year it slipped way back.
As long as they don't smoke a cigarette, they can do anything they want.
This happened throughout LA. Santa Monica, you know, I've been protesting the amount of development. I'm protesting the fact that I believe our community needs to feel safe.
Yes.
That our fire department needs to be staffed. That everyone, that our public safety is paramount in the city. I've also talked to our former city attorney many times when I was the chair of the Parks Commission about the amount of homelessness, the problems that we have in our parks. That we just spent almost $200,000 remodeling Reed Park to add residents to the mix, and I drove by Tuesday. We had, I think, 18 homeless people in the park. People are still afraid to come to the park, but the city is working on it. We're doing events to try and activate that park.
The libraries have been turned into homeless shelters. I'm concerned. I am saying this as someone who loves the city. I believe that the response thus far has been
feeble.
That's kind.
Okay.
With all respect. Thank you for the opportunity. If we do not act swiftly and strongly, we're going to pay a very heavy price.
Thanks. Good to talk to you always, Michael.
Thanks, bro.
Take what Michael said at face value. Michael cares about the city. Michael cares about people in Santa Monica and walks Main Street, walks Ocean Park every day. We can choose to disagree with some of what he said, but I would take note, because many of the things he is saying are being shared by other residents and business owners in Santa Monica. For Brock and Your Block, I'm Phil Brock. We'll see you next time.